We are live.
Hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody, whatever you're connecting or watching this video later around the world. Nice to be here with you. My name is Armando Lacerda, and I'm here with Cecilia. Hey, Cecilia.
Hey, I'm Cecilia Versatori. I welcome everyone. I'm super excited to be here today and start this Microsoft Fabric talks with Armando.
Yeah, nice. For those of you who don't know me well from social media, I'm a Microsoft MVP. MVP is an award that Microsoft gives to professionals like us when we do these things, when we share what we know about Microsoft technologies. And they evaluate your contributions. If you like it, they award you and gives a lot of perks. So kind of attests for your technical depth and your willingness to support the communities. I'm also Microsoft MCT. I've been training on Microsoft classes for over 30 years, and I am an independent consultant. How about you, Cecilia?
I'm a Microsoft certified trainer as well. I'm certified in Power BI and Fabric, and I'm a data analytics consultant. I've been into the field for over 2 decades, I believe now.
And Cecilia is an artist. She does amazing looking Power BI reports. You got to see those.
Or maybe it's AI behind the scenes nowadays, right?
Oh, now she got an assistant. She got AI. Cecilia, are we sure we are broadcasting? Because I have YouTube here on the side and it's not showing the two of us. Can you see the both of us there?
Uh, I see viewers and I see that we are live on my screen. Uh, is anyone in the chat?
Yeah, if anybody's in the chat, there we go. Now I see us.
They see us? Okay, well, nice. So
Yes.
this is my
Now,
first live stream, so
yeah,
we
I was a problem my feed here. I had to refresh the thing.
okay, all right.
Cool. All right. Let me bring our slide deck up here. And there we are. So this is the first session, right, out of 6 that we are going to present in the next weeks, right, the next 6 weeks. We're going to have these talks with you, and this is supposed to be interactive, right, Cecilia? We are live. There is a bit of delay on going to YouTube, but if you have questions, we are monitoring the YouTube chat, and would love to hear about your questions. So today we're going to say that
and
again.
feedback. Question and feedback. I mean, what you think about this that we're talking about as well. So
Exactly. And if you want to, feed us with questions we should tackle on one of the topics when it comes up, give us some feedback here on YouTube, right there on the chat window. We'll be paying attention. So today we'll be talking about, Fabric from the perspective of a Power BI person, a Power BI people. Next week we'll be talking about the role of a DBA, like if you're a SQL DBA person, or if your friend is, tell your friend about this thing, and we're going to talk about how SQL would support, how SQL DBA would support workloads in Fabric, how to bridge your knowledge from one place to another. On the third week, Cecilia, will be about
Fabric governance for the Power BI admin. So if I don't know if everyone here experienced the Fabric interface now, but some people say, okay, so I'm a Power BI admin, or I do some Power BI administration. So how does that fit now with Fabric? So we're going to discuss that in the third session. Yeah.
For the SQL DBA developers that work in data integration, right, with SSIS, more likely on-premise or some VMs running in Azure. What's the path to go from there into Fabric, right? There were many discussions back in the day when Synapse was around, how to get to Synapse and how to get to Fabric, right? Azure Fabric, not Fabric, Factory, Azure Data Factory.
Data Factory, yeah.
Close names, Azure Data Factory. But now we are in Synapse. So how's it about getting to Synapse? We're going to have that 30 minutes talk there. And then, Cecilia, the next one is?
Copilot and Fabric for the Power BI pros, right? Now we have this amazing AI in our hands, right? So we're going to talk how that changes the game and how to leverage. We're going to run some demos for you to see all this AI power with Copilot. And then
Yep.
we go back to the DBAs, right?
Yeah, exactly. We go last one will be focusing back on the DBAs. We're gonna tackle some more topics. How to improve performance, how to understanding the data storage behind the scenes, and for DBAs, for instance, here's a little teaser, right? If you if you're a DBA, you are very familiar with indexes. We create indexes to enable performance, right? To improve performance. Now in Fabric, there is no indexes. So what do? Come and check that out with us
Right.
in a few weeks. Right, Cecilia?
Yes, it's gonna be fun.
Yep, and bring your questions. And if you want to have hands-on on those things, with the two of us, myself and Cecilia, we are planning a group of workshops, right? A series of workshops on the third week of September. These ones are going to be paid. We're going to run it in Davie, South Florida. There will be a classroom there, and there the both of us will be there, and we'll be not just answering questions, but there will be hands-on, right? We're going to have an environment where we're going to lead you on how to do these tasks in Fabric. We have a collection of different topics. It's a one-day workshop, each one of them. So pick yours, and if you want to do a bundle, there will be some promotions going on. Cecilia, our marketing person, has already set that up. Come back next week for more information on how to register and prices and all of that, right?
Yeah. Maybe if you're not from South Florida, I mean, you can visit and come to the workshop. This is a whole week of power.
Yeah. South Florida sunshine. It's used to live there. I don't miss an opportunity to go there. So if you're out of the state and want to come and check that out, you're welcome to be here or there, because I'm in California. She is in Florida.
And also follow Armando, because Armando is also running other workshops around the US, at least. I don't know if he's going outside the US, but check it out. He's an amazing trainer. So if you see him running something, and
Thank you, Cecilia.
Topic,
same. It goes backward. But Cecilia, let me ask you. Let's start this talk here. So a lot of people ask around the internet, is Fabric replacing Power BI? That's a very common question, see everywhere. Yeah. And tell us, is Power BI gone?
Especially when you go into the Power BI experience, right? I mean, you're running a workshop and you say people go to the Power BI interface and then they see the Fabric logo, or like you're getting into Microsoft Fabric. It's like, I wanted to go to Power BI, so what's happening? Is it replacing it or not? Well, at least, I mean, for now, Power BI is still there. No, but the truth is that Fabric is expanding Power BI, it's empowering Power BI. So it's bringing with it this new experience, this new platform that not only has Power BI there, as you know it, but also brings other components that maybe you were familiar with them. Those components are from Azure, like you had Synapse, you had real-time analytics. I had a blank for some reason. You have Data Factory from Azure. So all these components were already there, but the experience was different. So now we have it under this software as a service experience, which is ready to be used, right? So you can do your data engineering with the data warehouses, with notebooks and Python. You can do your data science, your real-time analytics. I mean, and your data integration using Data Fabric, all under the same umbrella with Power BI. So it's not actually replacing it, but it's giving you more tools. And that's amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's not that you have to learn all of them, right? I mean, if you're a Power BI person, you can keep working as you used to. You don't need to go and learn all of that, unless you need it. I mean, we would suggest go and learn what you need, or some foundations, or of what's there. But yeah, it's not replacing it. That's the answer to your question.
I think that's a very important message to get across very clearly, right? When Fabric was envisioned by Microsoft, they're looking around for a nice face. So they had like Synapse, that would be like Armando, and they had Power BI, that would be like Cecilia. So which one's the nicer face? Let's keep Cecilia's. So they gave Fabric a Power BI interface. And like Cecilia just said, right, it's the same interface that we're very familiar with and we know how to work with. It goes around the concepts of workspaces, like she said. It goes around all the stuff around Power BI. But in the back end, Power BI is incorporated inside Fabric, which brings together not just Power BI, like Cecilia mentioned, but brings together all of the services we already had, both in Synapse and Azure Data Factory, and a bunch of services in Azure. So thank you, Cecilia, for clarifying that out, right? Fabric is not replacing Power BI. Fabric is empowering or upscaling Power
Yes.
BI.
And I like what Drew is saying in the chat. They are best buddies now, right? They complement each other. Fabric and Power BI. I like that, Chewy.
High five, both of them. All right. But come on. If Power BI is being incorporated inside another environment, which is Fabric in this case, something got to change, right?
Right. So what's been actually replaced from Power BI, right? That would be our next question, right?
Yeah. If something got to change, what is changing, right? And when you go, like, let me bring Power BI up here to the screen. Let me get this guy here. Here, let's see if he's gonna show up. It's always a mystery if a demo is gonna work. Let's see if the demo gods are gonna help me today. So if you're familiar with that workshop that Microsoft offers for free, many Microsoft partners offers they offer for free as well, called the dashboard in a day. So this file here is from the dashboard in a day. And when we work with Power BI, we know we have two main environments, right? We have this one here where we create our reports in Power BI Desktop, right? I'm in Power BI Desktop at this point, where we create our reports. And we have this button here that we use to bring data into Power BI, right? That's the transform data. And people who would like to dive here, this button here. Let me show it here. There we go. This button here, right? That people who are more technical like to dive in, and they know that behind this thing here is Power Query. So when I click on this one here, let's see, and of course it pops up in the other screen. So I have to wait for it to stabilize a little bit, and let's bring it over here. There it is. The file is looking. I mean, the Power BI file is looking for data sources that are not on my computer at this moment. So we see these errors here because it's looking for the file, and the file is not there. So don't worry about this. But this is the point. Cecilia just brought up the question, right? Power BI is going to Fabric and is already there. It's been there for over a year, right? In GA already. What's being replaced? And is anything being replaced? Power BI is not going away, but is anything being replaced? And this is what has been not replaced, but you have an alternative for this. Because when you do Power BI Desktop or you go Power BI in service, you are bringing data into Power BI using, let's see if it's there. There we go. Well, this is my file name. It's not showing here, but this is Power Query, right? If you go here into the advanced, this guy here, right? The advanced editor, we can see here the codes that goes behind this thing, behind the scenes, the M codes. And this, in a way, is my Power Query solution. Now, this is one way to bring data into Power BI, and that was your only way if you are only with Power BI. But if you are working in Fabric, this thing can be replaced by another feature in Fabric called, actually can be replaced by a bunch of other features in Fabric, because you have a bunch of other options to bring data into Fabric. One of them is the Data Lake Gen 2. So let me
I like how you say it can.
It can. It doesn't have to.
It doesn't have to.
Thank you for highlighting my word choices. I try to be, because I can keep it like that, right? Let me see here. Demo. There we go. I knew I have it in here somewhere. Let me go and connect. Let me bring this one here so you guys can see what's going on. There we are. So Fabric from Microsoft.com. And which account is this one here? Oh, that's my personal account. That's not the one I want to use. Let's use this other one here, which is the one I use for demos, this one. There we go. Let's sign up just quick. Go.
Come on, Fabric shows us the power of data flows, Gen 2.
It
Anyone
will, yeah.
already?
It's there. I just, I think I closed the tab by mistake, but it's gonna pop up. There we go. Fabric coming. There we are. So if I go here to my workspace and look into my lakehouse or my warehouse, here in Fabric, again, you are still in Power BI, you are doing Power BI Desktop, but you are not, you want to bring more data than Power BI Desktop would be able to allow you to, and for that matter, that Power BI would allow you to do, right? But you want to still keep doing your logic. So you can come into Fabric into a data pipeline, and here in the data pipeline, oh, look at that. The demo gods are not happy with me today, Cecilia. Let me try it once again back here and start a new one. I had that one ready for me, but something happened. So let's go data flow Gen 2 over here and get this going. Data flow. So in Fabric, look, I'm not in Power BI Desktop anymore. And to your original question, is Fabric replacing something in Power BI? Fabric is not really replacing Power BI, but some of the functionalities, you have alternatives for it and better alternatives, right? More powerful, more enterprise level alternatives. And this is one of them. Instead of using Power BI Desktop to bring the data into Fabric, I'm bringing data using the data flow Gen 2, next gen of what we have in Power Query. And from here, I would be able to collect information from multiple sources. There are hundreds of sources in there. And the experience in here will be pretty much the same, pretty close. Look at this. This is the web interface. And this one here is our Power BI interface. You see the buttons, the rainbows in there, the sidebars. We do have the sidebars in here too. They're going to show up here as I keep using this. So they have a very similar interface. So it's not a replacement, but it is an upgrade and a better alternative, cloud-based instead of a desktop-based. How do you like it, Cecilia?
Yes, I do like it. And also, I want to point something else because here we can see both of the experiences. Now you switch back to Power BI and we have the traditional options on the left. No, go back to the browser experience. See on the left, we still have the workspaces as we see, right? And now we're seeing the Power BI experience. So if you want to work from them, you are welcome and everything is familiar. But if you want to switch to Fabric, because you started with the Fabric experience, that's why I'm pointing that. Go to the left corner at the bottom and switch back to Fabric so people can see the Fabric experience. So you can alternate and you can work from where you feel more confidence. If you're a Power BI Pro, probably you like more the Power BI experience. But if you go into the workspace, you have all the items to work with Fabric as well and with Power BI.
Exactly.
So it's an expansion. That's what I'm trying to point. I mean, it's like nothing is being replaced for you. It's just that now we have more options. And I see Francisco's question in the chat about what type of license this is. In this case, we are on the trial license, but then we touch on a topic that for those familiar with the Power BI Premium, Fabric, it is replacing at least that thing, right? Power
Yes,
Premium is not
true.
there anymore. Now it's called Fabric Capacities. So if you want to work and leverage the power of Fabric, you need the Fabric capacity behind the scenes.
Exactly. So here in the workspace, you can see here these two icons in the workspace. This one used to be Power BI Premium icon, right? It's now the Fabric icon. So if I hold my mouse over and zoom in here, you can see it's a Fabric workspace. And this other one here says it's a Fabric workspace running on a trial license because I'm not paying for this one here, right? We are using Microsoft money to run these demos. So if I hold my mouse over here, it tells you we are on a trial workspace, but it's Fabric. And to Francisco's question, if you want to use Fabric, you need to have a Fabric capacity. And we discussed that when we got into the governance in a couple of weeks, right, Cecilia?
Correct.
And you also need a Power BI Pro license as a person, so you can interact with the environment.
Yeah, and if you don't need to use any Fabric experience or you don't need anything premium, you can still use your Pro licenses and keep working as you used to. So
exactly, I can, like Cecilia just said, I can come here. Where's my mouse? Sometimes I have so many monitors, I lose my mouse. Here's my mouse. I can come here to the workspace and I can create, even though I have a Fabric license, I can come and create a workspace and decide not to use a Fabric license, right? I can use just the Pro, and Fabric is out of scope. I don't need to worry about Fabric. Power BI life stays the same as it's been forever.
Absolutely.
Cool. So when we bring data into Power BI, when we bring data into Power BI, we can do two ways, right, Cecilia? We can do we can do import, and we can do direct query, right, in Power BI. But when Fabric comes along, we have a new way, don't we?
We have the best of both worlds, right? Now we have entering Direct Lake.
Direct Lake. Can you tell our friends a little bit about Direct Lake?
So yeah, it could be like import on steroids, right? So now you have these lake houses and warehouses that you can leverage, and you can connect directly to the semantic model right there. So you can leverage, instead of doing direct query or import mode, you can use direct query. Direct Lake, and everything is a Vertipack engine, right? Everything is in memory, super fast, super performance. Are you showing this?
Yeah, keep going. I will get there for the demo. Yeah. Yeah. What about directly? Keep going.
Yes. That's the. I wanted to point to that. So you need to use the Lakehouse for that.
Yes, and you see, like in this case here, when we bring data in Fabric, instead of the data landing in the semantic model, like would be the import mode, right, Cecilia?
Yes.
The data would land in one lake, in one lake, and would have access to that data to process that data either through the lake house or the warehouse. Regardless which one you go, you have this option here to create a semantic model based on whatever is in that lake. So in this case here, we have just one table in my lake house here that I created for another sample, another section. And I can come here to the semantic and create a new semantic model. So if I want to create a report in Power BI, I need to have a semantic model. And this semantic model here will tell Power BI, okay, the data, instead of being in the semantic model, is in one lake, right? The data will be there. And let's give a model a name, demo01, because I'm not that creative. And with the model there, we will see what Cecilia just told you. You know, the best of both worlds. You're gonna have a model that will serve Power BI like the data was in Power BI in the semantic model, but the data is actually in one lake. And if something changes in one lake, you will see that reflected straight into the report. So let's just wrap this up here to see. Yeah, the demo gods are not my friend today. I think I did not sacrifice enough before the session, so things are running a little slower. But if I click on this table here and look here into advanced, we can see here what Cecilia just told you. This table in this semantic model is in direct lake like Cecilia just showed you, which means that the data doesn't have to move from one lake into Power BI. Power BI will work with the data straight from one lake. And if something changes in one lake, it will show up in Power BI momentarily. Sometimes it's so close that it feels like real time, but momentarily, right, Cecilia?
Absolutely. Yes. This is great. I mean, and it doesn't mean that you have to go running and switch to Direct Lake. Everything is just something else, something extra that Fabric is bringing to you, and you can leverage that.
So everything is way better streamlined, which I love. Now, we're not going to have time today to demo and present on the reports, but when it gets to the report, Cecilia, do we have any new changes there, new features in terms of DAX functions and DAX libraries?
Actually, something that I'd like to highlight in terms of DAX is that we have now an AI enabled platform, right? So for those who are not very much of a friend of DAX and you like resist writing DAX, you can even leverage AI to write DAX for you. That's amazing. You can ask for something and it can create the DAX code for you. It can help you with that. That's perfect.
I love it too. I love it
Right,
too.
that's a great opportunity right there.
Yeah. There is a question there on YouTube in our chat from Girl Gone Verde, which is an interesting name. I love it, the name. And she's asking what would be the cost for a small business with about 150 people, right? And come back on the governance session, please, because we'll be discussing that with in more details. Licensing is always, kind of and territory because things move pretty quick. But yeah, we'll go back to that question over there, right?
Yeah, and the answer, I mean, the short answer would be it depends.
Always, like anything in data, it depends.
Yes, it depends on your needs and specific requirements. So
Cool. So we are close to wrap it up. We are a minute and a half away from wrap it up.
So I have an extra
Thanks,
question for us, Armando, before we close. What new skills should the Power BI people be thinking about? Because I mean, if you see all these things, should they learn everything? Should they go and do a course about data factory, data science? Should they do that? What we should do as a Power BI pro?
Yeah, if you're data, in my opinion, my personal opinion, you choose a career for yourself, and you're gonna get the best of that career for you. So if you want to stay on the data analyst side of the whole scheme of things, you just can stay there and get. There is nothing new you really need to learn besides working with the new interface, the web interface and connecting through Power BI desktop to the elements that are in Fabric. Creating your reports pretty much is the same game, right? It doesn't change. But if you're interested in looking into new opportunities, for new careers, like I'm the data analyst side, perhaps I want to take a look on the data engineering side, because I have heard that a lot of AI stuff there, the job positions of the near future, right? They are going around AI and training models and getting copilots to assist upper management for decisions and all of that. And those things that they usually go around data engineering. So if you are into Fabric and you want to, take a pick on the other side of the fence and see how data engineering goes, there you go. These are the new skills you should be looking at, right? How to transform data outside the shell of Power Query and using, SQL, using Spark. Dataflow Gen 2 is your step in, but for highly scalable scenarios, those two engines inside Fabric are the best ones. And in my case, like a few years back, I met now it's a friend of mine, but I met this new guy, and he was really deep into Internet of Things, a very high level throughput, high demand throughput of data coming into Fabric, into Power BI back then. And Power BI couldn't handle it, created a dashboard, real-time dashboard with the data. Now with Fabric, we revisit that case and say, now we can do it. So in my case, I did a little peek over the fence and I started supporting IoT flows inside Fabric. So there are a lot of new subjects and a lot of new topics you can consider learning and expand your career. How about
Yeah.
you, Julia?
Yeah, what I would say is that I think it's always a good thing at least learn the foundations of things, like there's some basics. What's there? What is this used for? What can I get from it? Because maybe at some point you need it and you want to explore in more depth, but it's also important when you need to ask for things. It's like, okay, I know I have this. I'm gonna call someone who is an expert, and I know what to ask. So that's why I think awareness and some basics is always good. But I want to highlight also I like to call Fabric the inclusive analytic platforms,
I
because
agree.
you don't need to learn everything. I mean, maybe you are a unicorn, right? And you want to learn everything and you can use, I mean, great, but you don't need to learn everything. There is a workload or a component for everyone on your team. If you're a Power BI person, stay as a Power BI person, but you can bring on board your data scientists or those who are experts in data engineering and Python. So all of you can work together in an inclusive platform. That's something that I love from Fabric, inclusive platform.
Very well said. Very well said. So I'd like to thank our friends who show up for the our first Fabric talks. I hope you got something out of this. Cecilia, going to bring back your slides just to remind everybody what's coming up next, right? Can you go back one slide? There we go. So we just finished today the Power BI people focused and how Power BI desktop connects to the things and what changes. Next week we'll be back here talking about the DBAs, right? The how to get your DBA skills, some main topics on how to get your DBA skills into Fabric and how you're going to be important in there. If you or a friend of yours is a DBA, please invite them in, and we see each other next week.
Yes, and
Cecilia, it's great being here with you.
thank you so much, Armando, and send us your thoughts about what you learned or how you're experiencing Fabric. Leave it the comments in the chat or shoot us a message on LinkedIn. We want to know your experience in Fabric.
Yes, give us feedback how we can make this better. And don't forget, Girl Gone Verde, come back for the fabric governance, and we talk more about license. Victor, you said it right. It's a necessary evil, right? You have to pay to use the thing, so we want to use the thing. Paying is a necessary evil for sure. But yeah, thank you so much. That was a short notice. I know you got this announcement here not long ago, and I appreciate you guys coming. See you next week.
Yes. See you next week. Thank you. Bye. And